Hello there everyone and welcome to Tune Talk with Andy. Now in today's episode we will be talking about Watershed by the band Opeth. Now with me today we actually have a guest who I believe was on The Raven That Refused to Sing by Steven Wilson. Give him a warm welcome, AGP.
Hey, thank you for having me back, I guess, yeah.
Nice, how's it going, man?
Yeah, it's going great, this album, I love this album, man. I can't wait to talk about this album, actually.
Phenomenal. But yeah, before we get into the album itself, let's talk a bit about the album in terms of the genre, who made it, and let's give a quick introduction to the band as well. Now, before I'll let you cook about the actual band members and who's on which instruments and stuff, I'll just like to say that Watershed is the 9th studio album by the Swedish prog metal band Opeth. It's the first studio album by Opeth to feature guitarist Fredrik Åkesson and the drummer Martin Axelrod. Now, I don't know as much about these people as AGP because he is kind of an Opeth connoisseur, so it's a bit iffy for me to talk about the people themselves. But these people did replace the guitarist Peter Lindgren and the drummer Martin Lopez. So, yeah, and the album was released on the 19th of May, 2008. It's also the last album to feature growls and these sort of death metal-esque parts, as they went on to full-on prog rock later on with the album Heritage that came out in 2011. Now, without further ado, AGP, cook the members.
Yeah, alright. Well, that would be murder, technically, but alright, let's...
No, bruh.
So, the band, at least on this album, it features, my goat, Mikael Åkerfeldt on vocals and guitar. Oh man, I love this man. This guy is a genius. I'm fully convinced. He's up there with, the Marius Duda from Riverside and Steven Wilson's and up there.
I agree, yeah.
Yeah, and on guitar we have Fredrik Åkesson. And then on keyboards and synthesizer, we have Per Wiberg. And on bass guitar, one of my favorite bassists, I must say, is Martin Mendes. And on drums is Martin Axelrod.
Nice. Thoughts on him, since you're a bit of a drummer yourself?
Yeah, so, well, he replaced Martin Lopez, and I would say technically he's a better drummer, maybe. But I really prefer Martin Lopez's parts and the albums that he was in, mostly. So if I had to pick between the two, I'd pick Martin Lopez. Now, there are also some...
Sorry to interrupt, but so it's kind of like your Portnoy to Mangini. Mangini has like better technicals with his hands and stuff, but you prefer Portnoy because of the albums he's on and stuff. Is that right?
Yeah, that's just actually very good. Yeah, that's a very good comparison, actually. Now, this album also has some, additional musicians. So on the song Coil, which we will get into later, there are some female vocals by Natalia Lurish. Apparently she was the girlfriend of the drummer Martin Axelrod at the time. And then on the English horn and the oboe, we have Lisa Almberg. We have Christopher Wadensten on the flute. I'm probably butchering these names, but we do.
That's fine.
Karin Svensson on violin. And then Andreas Engberg on cello.
Nice. But yeah, without further ado, let's get right into it. AGP, would you like to start us off with Coil?
I would love to. So, from what I've heard, I don't think you don't hate the song, but you don't really care about it. I actually really rate this song. I've been listening to it a lot lately because I've been learning this on bass, actually. This is a lovely opener to the album. The vocals are beautiful. The dynamics between the female vocals and the male vocals, I mean, they're repeating the same lyrics from what I know at least, but it's really good contrast. They really contrast very well to the song. It's a very lovely song, yeah. The guitar playing is good. The bass is superb on this song. I really love it. It's a great opening to the album. I would rank this song a 7.5 out of 10.
Now, me personally, I do agree that I quite like the dynamic between the female vocals and the male vocals. That's something I've always liked. My first time ever listening to a song like that was Stirb nicht vor mir on Rammstein's Rosenrot album, which was really nice. It did, however, take me quite a while to fully understand what it was supposed to be, so at first I didn't quite like it, but eventually it grew on me, and the instrumentals themselves, to me, they feel a bit weak compared to other songs. I do like the bass, as you said, but I find this song to be quite simple overall, a bit repetitive. Something about the vocals, like, early on felt a bit suppressed for some reason. I'm not sure if that's just my ears or if it's intentional, but to me it didn't quite hit. So, to me, Coil is a 6.5 out of 10.
Yeah, like, I gotta say, like, the intro doesn't really have me fully hooked either. Just a bit something that really, like, kind of throws me off a bit, but they fix it up very, very quickly. Might be something with the lyrics or the vocal melodies they wrote, something with that maybe. But, I really think of this more as an opener than an individual song, We're going to move on to the next song very quickly, but the contrast between this song and the next song is pretty big, I'd say.
Absolutely, yeah. Speaking of which, the next song is Heir Apparent. Now, this song is actually one that I quite like. Now, my first time listening to it, I was a bit skeptical because I wasn't quite expecting that to follow up Coil, but it actually did hit on my second listen, I'd say. It has a strong opening with great instrumentals. The vocals are powerful. And I've just got to say that the pace changes they do throughout is something that I really appreciate. The lyricism, which is a big part of my own appreciation for songs, I find them to be a bit mediocre at times, but in my personal opinion, the song does drag a bit, especially towards the end. In my books, it's a 9 out of 10, so it's a fantastic song. It's just these few things that I would tweak just to make it that solid 10 out of 10, but phenomenal song overall.
Oh boy, what a song this is. So this, like most of the songs in this album, the atmosphere is so ominous. We go from Coil, what's this, like, really soft type of melancholy, maybe you would describe it as, and then you just get this big boom, and it's so powerful, and it drags you down, and then it all drops out, and the piano comes. It really serves the intro well. This is one of the heaviest songs I've ever heard, man, I swear to God. The growls are monstrous, they are amazing. The riffs, like classic Opeth style, amazing. The dynamics, going amazing riff, death metal dragged down to the ground. And then you get some more calmer parts, some maybe like a bit jazz-inspired folk parts.
Oh yeah.
And the outro, I love the outro. I think it's perfect, and the arrangement as well is really good on this. I rated this also a 9 out of 10. Very strong. But maybe could be improved.
How would you improve it yourself?
Well, I don't really know how to improve it, sadly, but...
Oh, there's just something that feels off, but you can't quite...
No, nothing feels really off, but like... I don't know, maybe it's just not
it's a flawless
fully
9,
my cup of tea for Opeth. It's... I'm really a big fan of the clean vocals and the growl dynamics that most Opeth songs have.
Yeah.
I really love this song too, of course, but so I don't really have a lot more to say on this, so maybe move on.
Yeah, you can move on to the next song. Go ahead.
Alright, the next song is The Lotus Eater. Now, I must say, this is my favorite Opeth song, I think.
Oh, wow.
I will say, though, the live version, I think it's live at the Royal Albert Hall or something, it's from 2010, is better, purely because of the backing vocals during the end parts. The intro to this is amazing and iconic in my opinion. They start off with this humming and then it immediately goes into this, blast beats and clean vocals and growl dynamics that I really love. That's one thing I really love that they did in this song. The clean and growl dynamics, they really executed it perfectly. And at least in the beginning, all the verses, the clean vocals, the harmonies on them are excellent. The drumming is perfect in my opinion on this song. Martin Axelrod really blew it out of the park. The instrumental break too is amazing. They use the flute in a very great way too. And this song has the funkiest section I've ever heard, and that's mostly thanks to the drums and the synth. The outro is excellent, and like I said, live version improves on it, so if you haven't heard that, I'd check it out. There's nothing I'd really improve, it's a 10 out of 10 for me.
Wow, that's actually quite surprising. Like, it's a good song, don't get me wrong. I personally rank it at like an 8 out of 10. It's a strong song. I love the dynamic between the clear vocals and the growls. The instrumentals themselves are great, and I did actually pay a bit of attention to the drums on this song for the first time in any Opeth song. And I love the drumming. That's something I really noticed. It really stuck out to me. Got a fun and funky riff, like that stuff. Have you read the lyrics?
Yeah, the opening is a bit...
They're a bit boring and unappealing, not gonna lie, but...
It seems very, like, suspicious, you know.
Yeah, that too. It's a bit iffy in my opinion.
Can I just read the opening 2 lines?
Yes, of course. Yes,
alright, the liquid is in your throat, one hopeless delight.
Yep. You see what I mean? It's a bit sus, man. But yeah, I would also like the more of a smooth opening to the song, but that's just my personal opinion. Still an 8 out of 10 though, so it's a solid one. Now, next up is one of my favorite Opeth songs of all time. This is actually a song that you recommended me before recommending the album itself. It's Burden.
Took me a couple of months until you listened to it.
Yeah, that was at a time when I couldn't be bothered. But wait, I swear this is one that I listened to immediately after.
It probably was, but I recommended Hope Leaves to you 5 times.
Yeah, Hope Leaves took me ages, but Burden, I swear I put it on like the literal second you sent it, because I loved Hope Leaves.
You did actually.
Bruh.
I just wanted to...
Don't try to put me in a sack, man. But yeah, it has such a nice and sweet opening, fantastic vocals. The instrumentals, they're, as always, they're fun, they're fantastic, they're strong. The lyrics are intriguing. The first thing that I noticed was some of the vocal runs. I paid attention to some of the lyrics and got intrigued, so I just had to read the lyrics, and they were intriguing to say the least. It has a fun change of pace, the song overall, great dynamic between the instrumentals and the clear vocals. I feel like there's something there that it kind of just intertwines so well. Played well off one another, and it's very replayable. This is one of my most played Opeth songs, alongside Hope Leaves and Isolation Years, I reckon. Yeah. It's a 9.5 out of 10, so nothing too wrong with the tune, not gonna lie. Phenomenal.
I must say, I really love this song too. The intro is excellent, you know, we have the piano that really sets us up for another haunting, at least something that feels like a haunting song. The synth, you know, and the guitar, they back it up well. The bass in the song is excellent. This is, in my opinion, peak clean vocals, just like ever. There's a fantastic keyboard solo. This song is just beautiful, but also kind of like in a haunting way. The musicianship, like most Opeth, is excellent. And the guitar outro, it's just fantastic. I really love the outro. I would also rate this a 9.5 out of 10. It just, I don't really know, it's not missing anything, but you know, it's just not on the same level as the Lotus Eater, or something else like maybe Harvest, which I really love too. It's just not up there for me yet. Maybe it will take some time, but I don't know.
On to the next one. HB, go ahead.
Next song is Porcelain Heart, and I must say the transition from Burden to this song is great. The intro is very, kind of reminds me a bit of Heir Apparent a bit. Very powerful, almost compresses you maybe. It's the most haunting song I've ever heard, and that's not a joke. And I've heard like some rumors about, you know, the lyrics, what they are about, what the song is about, and that really backs up what I said about the most haunting song, and you can really hear that. Speaking of the vocals, I really love the vocals themselves, the vocal melodies. They really knocked it out of the park with this. I love the writing on that.
Yeah.
It's a great fitting riff to bring us, you know, back in from when they have purely the vocals and an acoustic playing mostly. The final verses are beautiful and haunting, and it's a great atmosphere. Now, the lyrics are supposedly about Mikael Åkerfeldt's ex, who killed herself after he broke up with her. This is supposedly, so I can't confirm anything.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, I don't really know if it's true. Like, I'm seeing different things, I don't know. But, you know, if it is true, then rest in peace, and it really backs up my claim, so yeah.
Yeah, let's just hope that's a rumor and not actually based on something real, because if someone's done that, then that's rough. Rest in peace, just in case. But yeah, what do you rank it overall?
Yeah, an 8.5 for me.
Nice one. Now, me personally, I do agree with most of your points. The only things that I don't really like is that I would like for the vocals to come a bit earlier on. I'm not a fan of songs that start off with heavy instrumentals. That takes time to then introduce the vocals. If there's gonna be vocals, man, just put them a bit earlier, in my opinion. If it's gonna start heavy like that, just carry on as an instrumental without having the vocals, because I don't know. It's just waiting for the inevitable. I don't like it, but that's my personal opinion. The song drags a bit, and it doesn't really have the replayability factor I'm after, but I do agree that it's quite a haunting track, so I definitely agree there. Now, overall, 7.5 out of 10, so it's still a decent song, quite close to being good, but I feel like this could be more of a grower than a shower, because I've only listened to this song 2 or 3 times, I believe, and most Opeth songs might take me like 5 listens to fully appreciate, because every time you listen, there's something new that you notice. Your first ever Opeth listen, if you're going to a random song, it's probably going to be growls, and that's going to throw you off, but the next time you listen, you'll probably notice drums, and the next time you might notice the transition between bass lines to fucking synths and stuff like that. It's one thing I love about Opeth. It's very intriguing in that aspect.
Oh yeah, it is.
But yeah, on to the next song. This is actually a song that I believe to be one of the strongest on the album, Hessian Peel. It has such a fun and intriguing opening, in my opinion, with nice acoustics. The riff is fun and catchy, and the instrumentals, as always, are just downright phenomenal. I like the vocals, but I've got to say, I did say the instrumentals were great, but with the exception of a particular instrument, AGP.
Don't even there.
I find the drumming to be a bit boring at times.
Oh,
That's just my personal opinion, though.
Yeah.
But yeah, it also does drag quite a lot. I think this song is like 11 minutes, 12 minutes.
Yeah, it is.
I think it should be more of an 8 to 9 minute song, in my opinion, but your thoughts? Oh, wait, 8.5 out of 10, by the way. 8.5 out of 10. No, HB, go on.
Yeah. Alright, so this used to be my favorite Opeth song, actually, like just maybe a month after I'd listened to Watershed, because, you know, I'd listened to Damnation, Blackwater Park, you know, The Ghost Reveries. Then I listened to Watershed, and this was the album that really clicked with me, actually. And this song especially, but I think that most likely must be because of the intro, actually. So this is most likely my favorite intro of all time. And that really messed with my ranking and what I thought of the song. Because this is not my favorite Opeth song anymore, I can say that at least.
Fair enough.
Reversed vocal, you know, you have the great acoustics and the clean guitar riff. It's just so perfect. The intro is so perfect.
Yeah.
Then you get to the vocals, and the vocals themselves are great, but then they reverse the vocals, and you know, that's kind of cool, no, but I don't care for it. I really don't. I don't want that.
Fair enough.
It's a good song. I do agree. Like, it really drags a bit for me, actually. I love the death metal parts on this song. The death metal part is excellent, and the instrumentals at parts are, you know, they are very good at parts, but, you know, yeah, like I said, it drags a bit at times. I rated this an 8 out of 10.
On to the next one, AGP.
Yeah, the next one is, if you're not listening to the special edition, the last track, we are doing the special edition, so this is Hex Omega. What a weird name, though.
Yeah, absolutely.
Actually, I rated this a 6.5 out of 10 before I listened to this again today, and now I've upped it, so I dodged the bullet there. The intro is great, the vocals are good, it's extremely ominous. I'm not really sure if it's the best track to close the album, if you purely have this, you know, the standard version. I don't think that's the pick to choose to end the album. I think Hessian Peel would be a better choice, maybe, or something else. The outro is extremely good. It's a 7.5 out of 10 for me.
Yeah, wait, did you say 7.5?
Yeah.
Oh, funny thing, because my ranking happens to be just in the middle of your 2 previous rankings. A 7 out of 10 in my books. It has a great opening, strong instrumentals, and vocals overall. I quite like them, but the vocal runs themselves should be improved a bit. They're a bit boring at times. The lyrics are a bit unappealing in my opinion, but that's just nerdy me who likes words, and I like a bit more of I like dynamic lyricism with substance, yeah, as you said. But yeah, it's not the strongest way to end an album. I personally would have preferred an upcoming song to be there, a song that we're going to talk about quite soon, Bridge of Sighs. I would have much preferred that to end the album because it's such a strong song. But let's save that for later. Now on to Derelict Herds. I actually ranked this song exactly the same as Hex Omega. I basically have quite similar points, actually, with good vocals and strong instrumentals. But the thing is, the ending, I'm not quite sure about the ending. I find it to be okay, but a bit lackluster. So I feel like there should be some sort of improvements there, but I can't quite nitpick what that would be. It has some interesting vocal runs overall, but I'm not sure whether I like it or hate it. It's such a weird song to me. But yeah, I've got to say the growls a bit iffy at times. Like, I much prefer Mikael's deep growls. So I feel like if he went a bit deeper with his growls, it could have been a bit better. But that's my opinion. On to you.
So we have. I rated this a 7.5 out of 10. You know, the intro is cool. Yeah, this is the first out of the 3 bonus tracks on the special edition. The only original song out of those 3, actually. I really like the drumming on this song. It's very good. The growls, I actually really like them. I think they are great.
Oh, wow.
It's not, you know, it's not death metal. It's more black metal inspired growls. I really like that. It really fits this song. I didn't like it originally when I re-listened to this. What was it, like 2 weeks ago or something? But it really grew over me across the song. So, but I don't really have anything else to say. The thing is, it's just not really, it's not very memorable.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's the thing, so yeah.
Yeah, fair. More of a filler song in my opinion.
Yeah.
Just kind of fills the album.
So the next song is Bridge of Sighs.
Yeah.
This is a cover of Robin Trower's song Bridge of Sighs.
Oh yeah, that's
what a
right.
shock. Yeah.
Oh, I completely forgot about that. Now, a certain person in my life, as I put this song on at random, told me that this was a cover, and my heart just dropped. I love this song so much. So I can't imagine this coming from someone else. So I refuse to listen to the original.
Yeah.
But yeah, carry on.
Even if you listen to the original, like, the thing is, the first thing you listen to is the thing you like the most. That's just always the case, at least for me. The intro is very cool. It's a very good cover. I really love the rasp that Mikael uses on his vocals on this song. Very like bluesy song. I rated this a 7 out of 10. It's just not really something I'd put on if I'm listening to Opeth, but if I'm listening to the album, I'd love to listen to this. I'm not gonna skip anything. But yeah, I just don't really care enough for this song. That might change with time.
Mate, my disappointment cannot be measured and my day is ruined. Yeah, I'm just gonna, chuck the cat out of the bag. Yeah, it's an 8.5 out of 10 for me. I really like this song. It's so strong. The instrumentals, they're so funky, man, and I love the opening. It's really intriguing. I love the progression throughout the song. It keeps building upon itself, and as you said, the raspy voice. Holy shit, Mikael, do more of that. I love that. But anyways, I would have liked it a bit more if it had more of a change of pace throughout. The lyrics are a bit subpar. But hey, that's not their fault. That's the original creators' fault, so we can't blame them. Sucks to be you. Anyways, on to the next song. Den Standiga Resam. Now this, it has a nice opening with nice acoustics, fun instrumentals, I suppose, but he is quite literally singing in Swedish, so like...
Don't you even dare!
Nah, I'm just joking. I don't mind him singing in Swedish. I think it's quite sweet to end a special album with his mother tongue, so I think it actually worked quite well. But the song itself is quite boring in my opinion, doesn't have that replayability factor I'm after, and it needs more of a change of pace. It's a bit stale, so yeah, it's a 6 out of 10 in my books. Not really something I'd fit on. Go on, HB.
Oh, jävla mitt hjärta.
Okay.
This is a beautiful cover of the original.
Oh, it's a cover.
This song is so beautiful. I love this song. The vocals are so beautiful. Whenever Mikael sings in Swedish, it's just perfect. He does it so well. I like the instrumentals on the song. The acoustic does well. I actually noticed something. There's a throwback to this song, To Bid You Farewell, from Morning Rise on this song, actually. On the guitar. It's only like 20 seconds, and I don't really know how to describe it, but you hear it in the strumming, and they use the exact same chords when strumming it, and they do it exactly the same as To Bid You Farewell. So I rate this an 8 out of 10. This is the perfect closer to Watershed, in my opinion. I don't care if it's a cover. Like, this should have been the ending on the original album.
That's fair. And one thing that you said, having like a bit of a throwback to a different album or just a different song in general, I feel like that's the perfect way to end an album. Just period. Something to kind of look back at the journey you've just been on. I feel like that's the perfect way to end the album. But yeah, I don't care for the song. But anyways, without further ado, if we add up all the scores, AGP, what did you get?
An 8.5 out of 10.
Wow, nice. Me personally, I got an 8.2 out of 10. And it's going to stay that way. One thing I did on the 3 previous episodes was that I would either round it up or round it down. I'm going to stop doing that now, and I'm just going to accept the rating that comes through calculation. Now, to close things off, AGP.
Yeah.
Could you explain to me how this album makes you feel?
This album makes me feel a bit sad at times, you know. It's very haunting, it's very ominous, and it's a very heavy album. The subject matters, I don't really know too much about the subject matters on all songs, but you can just feel the heaviness of this album.
Do you have any closing remarks for the album?
Oh yes,
Any
overall
notes?
thoughts, yeah, alright. Yeah, the songs themselves are excellent. Heir Apparent, The Lotus Eater and Burden among my favorite tracks, and having those 3 in a row, that's one of the strongest 3s in a row. That sounds weird. That's not how to proper sentence structure, but the atmosphere is haunting and ominous throughout the entire album. The arrangements are great. I must say the flute is used excellently in every song it's on. It's consistently great. The best Mikael Åkerfeldt growls are on this album, period. It's a top 3 Opeth album for me. Every member does their part perfectly. Production and mixing is excellent, it's great. Excellent songwriting, the instrumental breaks are great. Just everything is so top tier about this album.
Yeah, fair. No, this album to me, it's kind of just the Opeth album that sticks out to me quite a lot, and I can't quite put my hands on it. There's something about it. As you said, it's quite ominous, but yeah, I can't quite explain how it makes me feel. It's kind of like Burden and the song I mentioned earlier, Hope Leaves. Those two are probably the only 2 songs by Opeth that has made me kind of tear up a bit. There's just something about the way it hits me right in my freaking chest that it gets me feeling, and this album is probably the Opeth album that has made me felt the most. But I can't quite describe why that happens. Maybe it's the ominous vibe, maybe it's the phenomenal songs, and I don't know, maybe there's some kind of subliminal messaging, I do not know. But yeah, it's a fantastic album, and it's definitely one I would recommend you guys to check out. Thank you guys so much for watching this episode of Tune Talk with Andy. We just went through Watershed by Opeth. In my books, an 8.2 out of 10. In AGP's book, an 8.5 out of 10. So quite similar ratings. But thanks again for watching. Greatly appreciate you guys dropping by. And we will be back